This course is for the students of BS English second semester. You already know that phonetics is the scientific study of speech sounds of a language. It deals with the production, transmission, and reception of speech. It studies the medium of spoken language. It has been regarded as a pure science because it studies speech sounds in a scientific way. It studies the speech organs which produce the production and the sounds of language. It studies waves in which sounds are transmitted through the air from one person to another person. And it studies the way in which human beings perceive sounds through the medium of the air. Here it studies all the speech sounds. All the speech sounds means that sounds are not mere noises. Sounds are not just noises. These sounds are speech sounds. Physiology of human body is involved in the understanding of the mechanics of human body. Letters represent sounds in rather intricate way, which are the primary physical manifestation of language. So letters are we study sounds, and these sounds are also known as phones. These sounds are not represented as they are represented through letters, and we study the representation of sounds through letters in phonetics. So here we study the physique of sound along with theories. Physique of sounds means the production of speech sounds, through the vocal organs. The vocal organs and the physical manifestations of those vocal organs, the organs of speech, some of which are active articulators, some of which are passive articulators, and how they function together just like a machine in order to produce sounds. Articulatory and acoustic properties of sound. Phones means sounds. Articulatory means how they are articulate. Articulated means produced, and how they are received. This is studied in phonetics. Production, reception, and transmission of speech sound. Phonetics is a descriptive linguistics. Descriptive linguistics means we describe sounds. Phonetics is it describes the characteristics of human speech sounds, and it also provides method for the description, classification, and transcription of speech sounds. Phonetics is the explicit and exact study of the production, transmission, and reception. Phonetics is the scientific study of human speech sounds. So phonetics is the science of human speech sounds. It teaches people how to recognize the different sounds which are produced with the help of certain mechanism inside the human body. It also trains the people to describe many ways in which the tongue, lips, and other vocal organs function in order to produce these sounds. It provides training in the method of finding about the physical characteristics. So in this kind of study is called phonetics. And we will also study phonology in your course, and this phonology is also an aspect of language, where we study the pattern of sounds. We study the pattern of sounds. We study the sound system of language. It is a huge area. It has a huge range. It has a huge spectrum. At one end, we study here Physiology. Physiology is a pattern, the structure of sounds, and anatomy is the internal structure of sound, and physiology is the aspects of sounds which are related with physique. On one hand, it also touches the social linguistics. At one hand, we study physiology and anatomy. On the other hand, we also go into the we go with it and study social linguistics. What is social linguistics? In social linguistics, we study the social aspect of language. Social aspects are accents and intonational aspects, intonation as stress and many other aspects that are related with language. So when we study particular pattern and their interpretation in abstract form, we call it phonology. It is the study of sound system of language. It is the study of the sound system of language. We can also language is not, we can really point it out, the language is not articulated human noise. It is not, language is not noise, which would be something like a crying of a baby or babbling. It is a patterned system. It is a patterned system where a whole kind of range is involved, a whole kind of system is involved, and whole kind of order is involved. It is a total range of sound. A human being can produce only a limited number of sounds used in any language. So we refer to a kind of sounds which occurs in a given language and the pattern into which they fall as the sound system of that language. The study of sound system is called phonology. Phonology is the scientific study of speech sounds and their functions within the speech system of a particular language. Phonology is study of vocal sounds and sound change and phonemes and their variations in particular language. Psychology of sounds. Psychology of sounds means how the nature of sounds change in language. So their variants are allophones. According to Bloomsfield, phonology is the organization of sounds into patterns in order to fulfill the communication function. Language organizes their material, the vocal noise, into recurrent bits and pieces arranged in sound pattern. It is the study of this formal organization of language which is known as phonology. So, phonology is the level at which a linguist describes the sounds of a particular language. What is sound, how and where it is produced from, how is it received by the ear, and how and why is one sound different from the other. Questions like these are the subject matter of phonology. So phonology is related with the sounds combination, the changes in the sound and the contrast in the sounds. And so these contrasts, these combinations, and these changes create change in meaning. This field of linguistics is phonology is based on theoretical linguistics. So phonetics is descriptive linguistics and phonology is theoretical linguistics. Now we will study another aspect, and that aspect is the phonetic features. What are the phonetic features and what are the phonological features? What are the phonetic features and what are the phonological features? In phonetic analysis, we are concerned with the active articulators. Active articulators means the vocal organs which move. The speech organs which move. Frequency means the rise and fall and the length of sounds. Both of these overlap one another. Both of these means phonetics and phonology overlap one another. Most of the time we are involved in the phonological study of phonetic sounds. When we study phonetic sounds, we also unconsciously involved in the phonological study of sounds. In phonology, we are concerned with the distribution and variations in sounds. Distribution and variation in sounds. Distribution and variations are also called allophones. So how sounds are distributed, what kind of change occur in their nature, what kind of change occur in their classification. When we study all this, the two crisscross one another. It means phonetics and phonology crisscross one another. Without phonology, we may not understand phonetic analysis. If phonology is not there, we will not be able to analyze the sounds. And in order to comprehend fully phonological phonemes, the phonemes, in order to understand the phonemic structure, we must go in detail the phonetic function of those sounds. So these two are interrelated. We cannot cannot separate them from one another. So study of speech sounds as a physical phenomena. Study of speech sounds as a physical phenomena. This is the part that we study in articulatory phonetics. You must know what is articulatory phonetics. Articulatory phonetics is the study of the movement of speech organs in this production of speech. Speech is produced by the movement of the organs of speech. In this branch of phonetics, the phonetician is mostly interested in the way through which the air is set in motion in the movement of speech organs, and the coordination of the movement in the production of single sounds and sequences of sounds. This is the articulatory phonetics. So what is sound? Sound in its very essence is the vibration in the body. It is the vibration when the air goes, when we take in order to breathe, we take in certain amount of air. This air goes into the lungs, and when we take in the breath in order to produce a sound, we then try to release it. During this release of air, it flows out with certain vibration, and this vibration in its essence is sound. So sound is in its very essence is the vibration in the body. It is the form of energy produced by the vibration of the body. The vocal tract, which starts from the lungs and then ends at the mouth, is the area where vibration is produced. Generally, noises are not speech sounds. Noises are not the kinds of noises that we hear around, the sounds of birds and the many other sounds that are not speech sounds. Clapping of your hand and snapping of your finger is not speech sound. Speech sounds are sounds produced by human vocal machine in which the processes of production, reception and transmission are involved. So what is production means? How we produce sounds by placing different active articulation at different angles. For example, lips, pa. When we produce pa, lips are together, and ha, when we produce ha sound, lips are apart. This is called articulatory phonetics. Then the another is transmission. We also study transmission. Transmission means how waves travel from the speaker to the listener. This is auditory phonetics. And the third category is reception, means how sounds are received. Do they receive differently? Do your ear curl when you receive them? As you produce certain sounds, your tongue curl, but your ears don't curl when you produce certain sounds. Here, when you receive certain sounds, how the human body produces the sounds of speech. It is called the physiology of speech sounds. We use our lungs to breathe the air out, and that process produce vibration in the larynx. And further modification is done by tongue, teeth and lips to modify the sounds. Different speech organs give this abstract form a concrete form in a mechanic-like manner, machine-like manner. These speech organs are also called active articulators, some of which are active articulators and some are passive articulators. Active articulators are also called moving articulators, and the articulators contract and relax, breathing, produce the flow of air which pass through the larynx or vocal tract, and this vocal tract ends at the mouth, and then the air flows in the air, and the second part of phonetics start when it is transmitted through the air, then we call it auditory phonetics. So in this phonetics, we are involved mostly with the articulatory phonetics. So here are some, you can see in this diagram that here you can see some organs of speech, some of which are active articulator. For example, tongue is active articulator, lips are active articulators, uvula, here uvula is here uvula is active articulator. Then we have glottis here, and then we have lungs. The air flow starts from the lungs, it goes through this tract, the white portion is shown here, and here during this portion the muscles contract, expand and relax, and during this expansion and relaxation, the process of relaxation, vibration is produced